afternoon, everyone. What is this? Low rounded hill, and this is what is an example of an monadnock. Low rounded hills. This is the real Mount Monadnock, which is found in the UK. How it is different from Inselberg? This is what is an Inselberg. So Inselberg mein what is the convex slope bhi dikh raha hai properly. You will see a free scrap also, and you are seeing here the which slope? The rectilinear slope, free scrap and the convex slope. Niche obviously there will be concave slope depending upon the relationship between the endogenetic forces and the exogenetic forces. उसमें आवाज नहीं आती उस रूम में लैपटॉप में से W.M. Davis. (1870s). He gave his concept of the cycle of erosion to show the distribution of the world. ये उसके वर्क्स है. Youth, can you see the river is cutting proper V-shaped valleys. V-shaped valleys can be formed only due to the vertical erosion. Early maturity, again V-shaped valleys थोड़ा कम हुआ है, and it has been replaced by lateral erosion. Late maturity, no V-shaped valleys. What? Late maturity, lateral erosion, and ultimately lateral erosion where the landform ka height has been reduced. So you will call this region as the region of interflows. Fine. Upliftment, erosion, youth, maturity, old age. This is what they are showing you is the youthful stage. You can see relief height of the landform is greater in the youthful stage, in the mature stage, and the last में क्या बन गया? Penne plain. The cyclical concept of the cycles of erosion, ये जो है, which you are studying, the cyclical concept. In the cyclical concept, one geographical cycle is completed, and after the completion of one geographical cycle, a new geographical cycle can start, and that is what is known as rejuvenation of a landform. क्यों दिया है ये फोटो? डार्विन. क्यों दिया है ये फोटो? डार्विन. Evolution. Similarly, evolution of the landform has occurred from youth, mature to old age. So in the young age, river system is not well developed. Distances between the rivers are very big, but the rivers flow with great speed and therefore engage in high amount of erosion. In the mature stage, the river system starts developing well, the landform is dissected, relief features is reduced, slope is generally reduced, and in the old age, it is made very, very flat. So this is what is the Davisian cycle of erosion. Fine, understood? स्लोप रिट्रीट किसका कंसेप्ट है? टैंक, स्लोप रिट्रीट या स्लोप रिप्लेसमेंट या पैरेलल रिट्रीट। अभी यहां से कंफ्यूजन होता है बिकॉज स्लोप रिट्रीट क्या है? इट कैन बी पैरेलल रिट्रीट ऑल्सो, इट कैन बी द स्लोप रिप्लेसमेंट ऑल्सो। You can see this is an area, अब ये king को दिखा रहा है. Why you know it is king? See the climate. Is it semi-arid? Yes. The king in the first stage, what is there? There is a vertical down cutting and hence steep-sided Inselbergs are formed. These steep-sided Inselbergs will keep on reducing in height due to the slope retreat, but इसका ऊपर का form will remain as it is. Fine. And this is how the steep Inselberg is. This is the photo of a proper Inselberg, basalt. As the vertical down cutting will go, कुछ नहीं, the height of the mountain will keep on reducing. First stage, second stage में Inselbergs का vertical down cutting will be replaced by lateral erosion. Lateral erosion में slopes पीछे 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 जाएंगे. That is what is known as an parallel retreat. And ultimately the entire landform will be converted into a peneplain. More or less this they are same. Inselberg means low rounded hill mountains which are having sharp top. They are same. In the tank, Inselberg is in the end stage. In the king, it is in the first stage. And ये सबसे difficult है. इसको ध्यान से देखो. वैसे भी इसमें आवाज नहीं है. Even in the king, they are pointed. Walter Pink suggested that the land flattens as the slopes grow and replace each other. This is the initial slope, free scrap, rectilinear slope, और कुछ नहीं है, C. Now what is going to grow? C will grow and it will ultimately replace A, and this is what we will know as slope replacement. Can you see C is growing? Rectilinear slope. Vertical slope गायब हो गया. अब this is occurring over the process of time and इसीलिए now this slope will get, sediments will get converted into smaller and it will become a wash slope or the concave slope. Problem with this theories is, see, YouTube पे, internet पे भी इतना कम है. That is why these theories are difficult to understand. This is a parallel retreat. Original slope so reducing. This is what is an example of an parallel retreat. Or this is what is an example of a parallel retreat. Convexity is maintained till the end and therefore we can see in the Inselberg convexity is maintained till the end. Fine. So we will now have a brief, you can say, revision of these three theories. The brief revision इसलिए, you only tell me when I say Davis, क्या points आने चाहिए? What are the points that should come when I say Davis? Structure, process and time. फाइन. बाद में तो वो तो आप आराम से कर सकते हो कि वो डार्विन से इंट्रोड्यूस्ड है. पहले कंसेप्ट्स बताओ मुझे. स्ट्रक्चर, प्रोसेस एंड टाइम. विच इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट? टाइम. हाउ डू वी नो टाइम इज मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट? because he divides it into youth, mature and old age. And then says that the erosion processes will operate on the basis of whether the landform is in the youthful stage or the mature stage or the old age. Fine. What is going to happen in the youthful stage? V-shaped valley. Q, vertical down cutting. High speed of the river will cause vertical down cutting. So ये मैं सिर्फ keywords बता रहा हूँ आपको. V-shaped valley. इससे क्या बनेगा? Gorges and canyons. Fine. Then the slope will decrease. We come into the which stage? Early mature stage or mature stage. In the mature stage, does vertical erosion stops? Read again. No. It declines, but lateral erosion begins. So V-shaped valleys gets converted into U-shaped valleys, and therefore there is, instead of valley deepening, there is valley widening. Even some amount of deposition will start. Fine. बाकी ये meanders होता है वो geography में इतना important नहीं जितना GS में है. Geography में they will look at your theoretical concepts, not at the landforms. Fine. Then again the speed of the river will decrease and the river will enter into the old age. Vertical erosion will totally stop. Only sideways erosion. Therefore, valley widening. Valley widening के कारण mixing of river channels. River will become very big. River will start depositing, so valley will become shallow. And thus, during the floods, river will deposit it. पूरा जो landform which was mountainous is now made into a flat landform which he calls as Penne Plain. Some of the hard rocks may not be eroded and they will form low rounded residual hills, and these low rounded residual hills are monad rocks. Fine. Come to the Penk. Penk says no. Davis is wrong. किस concept पे? दो concepts पे. One is time and second is rapid upliftment. So Penk, what are the three keywords? Landform is an outcome of ratio of upliftment to down cutting. Fine. Then this upliftment to down cutting, that means upliftment is a long process, continuous process. कैसे होगा upliftment? पहले stage में rapid, second stage में कम होते जाएगा, third stage में बंद हो जाएगा. First stage upliftment, so absent or offsent? Off, not absent is no. Off stay, gunde. Entweke, lunge. Fine. What you will write in that? There is upliftment, therefore convex slopes are formed. इसमें slopes पे है, valleys नहीं है. What does Peng say? Peng says, you will understand today, Peng का statement है, entire world is made up of slopes and the slopes will form the landforms. Fine. So Peng is concerned about the slopes. So he says, initially there is a convex slope. क्यों है convex slope? Because of an upliftment. River की speed is greater, etc. Therefore, there will be a free face will be formed. Vertical down cutting use नहीं करेगा वो कहेगा free face is formed. Next phase is glitch formige, मतलब balance. Entweke lunge. In the glitch formige, तीन सब phases. First phase में upliftment हो रहा है, rapid ही है but it is declining. Second phase में it is matching. So convex free face will give rise to which slope? Rectilinear or uniform slopes. And third isme there is no upliftment. Therefore river will not just keep on now erosion the landform. And thus he goes to the third, abste, gunde, elvete, lunge, entweke, lunge. As the river is eroding, the rectilinear slope will start becoming concave in nature. As the time passes, the concaveness of the slope will increase and ultimately ये पूरा landform will be reduced because concave slope is going to replace all the other slopes. So you call his theory as slope replacement. Final इसमें end Rumpf having Inselbergs. Fine. Then King. Why he is a combination? He believes in Penck. Yes, slope replacement. He believes in Davis? Yes, majorly in Davis. How does he believe in Davis? Upliftment is rapid, then upliftment stops. Secondly, youthful, mature and old age. Why he does not believe in Davis? Because Davis ka cycle does not apply to the arid regions. What does he say? He also, like Peng, says landform is made up of slopes. So initially there are 5 elements of the slope which he took from wood. Fine, diagram bana do, explain करने की ज़रूरत नहीं unless specifically पूछा है तो. Fine, he took from wood. In the initial stage, due to the upliftment, due to the vertical down cutting, there will be concavity and the free scap. This free scrap is what is known as gorges and canyons, but more importantly canyons. GS में पढ़ा होगा या पढ़ोगे बाद में, what is the difference between gorge and canyon? Gorge is V-shaped, canyon is straight. Fine, I-shaped. Gorge will develop in the humid regions, canyon will develop in the arid regions. So king के इसमें क्या है? Canyon. Fine. Numerous such canyons will be formed and thus the height of the landform will be reduced. This height of the landform is reduced and therefore there will be inselbergs formed. First stage khatam. Second stage में, mature stage में, as the river becomes widens, the free scrap से sediments गिरेंगे और कहाँ पे गिर के कहाँ पे इकट्ठा हो जाएंगे? Where they will be falling down? At the foot of a mountain. This is pedimentation. Sediments are falling down from the free scrap. इसलिए free scrap अगर ये था, अब ये बन गया, फिर ये बन गया, फिर ये बन गया, फिर scrap, free scrap बचा नहीं है, फिर ये ऐसे ऐसे. This is what is known as a parallel retreat or scrap retreat. Getting it? Free scrap के लिए there has to be parallel retreat के लिए there has to be free scrap. Then only due to erosion this will come here, this will come here, this will come here, or this side will come here, this side will come here, this side will come here, and pediments यहाँ पे इकट्ठा होते जाएंगे. But this will be eroded. So and ultimately the entire landform will be made into smaller inselbergs. So in the second stage दो कीवर्ड है, scrap retreat and pedimentation. Over the period जो बचे हुए smaller inselbergs है, they are removed and therefore extensive pediplain is formed. So he calls this cycle as the cycle of pediplanation. Third stage, old age, not that important. Old age is not that important because in the old age बचा हुआ inselbergs will again be reduced and there will be vast pediplain. Pediplain पहले ही बन चुका है, there will be vast pediplain. Fine. 3 theories. Comfortable everyone? Different rocks. ये लोग स्ट्रक्चर की बात ही नहीं कर रहे. ये लोग स्ट्रक्चर की बात ही नहीं कर रहे. ये साइक्लिकल थियरीज है, ये प्रोसेस की और टाइम की बात कर रहे हैं, ये स्ट्रक्चर की बात ही नहीं कर रहे. किंग कहता है क्लाइमेट इज एरिड, डेविस कहता है एंड पेंग कहता है क्लाइमेट इज हॉट एंड इज टेम्परेट ह्यूमिड. डेविस एंड पेंग में इतना ही फर्क है कि डेविस सेज वर्टिकल डाउन कटिंग एंड शॉर्ट अपलिफ्टमेंट, पेंग सेज no short upliftment, upliftment is continuous, it goes on simultaneously, and no vertical down cutting but slope replacement. ये लोग rocks की बात ही नहीं कर रहे. एक assumption लिखा था हमने, यूनिफॉर्म लिथोलॉजी. फाइन, getting it? Any doubts? एरिड साइकिल अभी तक हमने की नहीं. विल डू डेजर्ट लैंडफॉर्म्स, तब हम करेंगे एरिड साइकिल ऑफ डेविस. Fine. You are in now stage 1 of preparation. In the stage 1 you should be doing the notes properly, doing the concepts very properly. Stage 2 you should be focusing on writing introduction and conclusion. Stage 3 you should be trying to interrelate different parts of the subject. For example, Davis, Penck and King believe in the cycle of erosion, youth to old age. Fine? King also, youth match, Penck B. Stages or same ही है, more or less it is the same. These are the cyclical concepts. The landform will be uplifted and then the landform will be reduced. Fine. जो मैंने दिया है introduction conclusion, that is fine. लिख सकते हो. But if you ever see Savindra Singh, if you ever see the book, आगे बहुत सारी theories भी दी है जो हमारे syllabus में नहीं है. But while writing the conclusion, you can take the help of those theories and write a conclusion. That is the stage 3 of preparation. Getting it? मतलब you write वही घिसे पिटे conclusion in the answer जो सब लोग लिखेंगे, या फिर write from the Savindra Singh का book, or write from a conclusion that the cyclical concepts after the quantitative revolution have reduced. Therefore, in 1960s onwards, there is a belief in dynamic equilibrium concept in which rather than the cyclical youth, mature and old age, they believe in the structure and the processes of the rocks. So, the dynamic equilibrium concept says cycle of erosion never takes place. The cycle of erosion of each rock will be different if there is a igneous rock versus there is a sedimentary rock. The complete cycle of erosion on the same mountain में sedimentary rocks will be eroded. और नाम दे दो Hack, Stroller, Chorley. Fine? Conclusion. Fine? देखो ये डिफिकल्टी रहेगी ओनली इन जियोमॉर्फोलॉजी. फाइन. क्लाइमेटोलॉजी वो सब नहीं. यू कैन ऑलवेज रिलेट टू द करंट अफेयर्स इन क्लाइमेटोलॉजी. मैं आपको दे रहा हूँ अभी कैसे इसीलिए कौन से पेज पे है? हिल स्लोप्स, स्लोप डेवलपमेंट 70. We have done this. Wood की थियरी. Fine. Davis, we have drawn this diagram yesterday. Penck, फिर से वुड का मॉडल, LC King. We have drawn the same diagram yesterday. Fine. अब conclusion में ये सारे पुराने हैं. आगे you see there is a concept of Savy-Gear. उसके आगे there is a Fisher-Lehman model of slope evolution. ऐसा लग रहा है ग्राफ्स है कोई. Fine. Geography नहीं लग रहा है. Because this is what is the systems analysis, quantitative revolution. Everything is done on computers. बस हमें इन 5 पेजेस में से right from here till here you have to just take out 20 lines. Fine. So a common conclusion you can note down. demerits of king. Oh, sorry. First demerit क्या है? What is the first demerit? Acha, we have written that there is no universal pattern, means you will not find anywhere very properly. देखो today photo we saw सिर्फ free scrap देखा, कहीं आपको concavity of the element दिखा नहीं. So there is no universal pattern of how it is. Second, his theory suffers from the same problems as of Davis. Same problems as of Davis. Same problem as of Davis. That is the phase of rapid uplift. Phase of rapid uplift. And second, erosion independent of upliftment. Erosion independent of upliftment. Erosion independent of upliftment. Third, though he criticizes Davis, but his theory is also divided into the same, his theory is divided into the same stages of youth, mature and old age. Of youth, mature and old age as Davisian theory. As the Davisian theory. और एक बताओ मुझे, मैंने उस पॉइंट पे बहुत ज़्यादा फोकस किया है कि why his theory is wrong. I have told you again and again in the class. वो कहता है खुद को राइट करने के लिए कि everywhere, irrespective of the climate, the landform will be same. This is the biggest mistake. Fine. The king points out that slopes develop similarly. Slopes develop similarly in all the climates. But geomorphologists have shown that slopes vary with the climate. In fact, applying the principle of present is key to the past. Applying the principle of present is key to the past. Principle of present is key to the past. Many slopes have imprint of past climatic conditions. Many slopes have imprint of past climatic conditions. have imprint of past climatic conditions. Processes leave a distinct imprint on the landforms and is reflected on them. नहीं मिलेगा ये बुक में, ऐसे थॉर्नबरी को जैसे चाहिए वैसे यूज करना है as per our need. Getting it? Next. King's model is not a original concept, but is an amalgamation of Wood, Davis and Penck. Amalgamation of Wood, Davis and Penck. यही स्टेटमेंट यूपीएससी ने पूछा है आपको पास्ट में. Have you seen the past year question that King's concept is an amalgamation? Neither his theory is based on field evidences or field observations. Neither his theory is based on field evidences or field observations. Neither his theory is based on field evidences or field observation. Conclusion. Though King's concepts are true for semi-arid regions and certain regions of Indian peninsula, such as Bhandir Plateau, Kaimur, Have you seen the movie वो झांसी की रानी पे अभी कंगना रनौत वाली? What is the name? मणिकर्णिका. Have you seen that? So you remember the fort of Jhansi is shown on the top of the hill and then straight है उसके walls. That is in Selberg, Bundelkhand, Bhandir Plateau, all that region. You will find Inselbergs over there. क्यों? सेमी एरिड है. मूवी में ही दिखता है सेमी एरिड है. फाइन. सो दैट इज व्हाट इज द इंसेलबर्ग. भांडर प्लाटू, कैमूर रेंजेस, but lack of adequate evidences comma, lack of objectivity in his writings. Make his work a valuable work of academic interest only. Understanding the statement? Valuable work of academic interest only. मतलब इसका फील्ड से कुछ रिलेशन नहीं है. It is just a academics के लिए. मतलब हम रिजेक्ट ही कर रहे हैं इसको बट इन अ प्रॉपर मैनर कि हमें इसको पढ़ना नहीं चाहिए, इट इज जस्ट फॉर एन एकेडमिक इंटरेस्ट. नाउ वन शॉर्ट नोट यू कैन टेक डाउन. डिफरेंस बिटवीन डेविस एंड किंग. I want just differences between Davis and King. मैं dictate नहीं कराऊंगा. I'll just tell you the points. First, you only tell me the points. Differences between the Davis and King. King. Davis and King तो पता ही है. Davis and King. Imagine you are in the exam hall. या ऐसे bouncer आया, what you will do? And there is no choice. You will have to attempt this question. Start से end करो. Start to end देखो. Imagine the theory. क्या शुरू कैसे शुरू होता है? Similarity है. कैसे end होता है? Similarity है. End में yes, first that is the climatic differences. Second, जो मेरा question है, how does Davis end in peneplain? How does he end in pediplain? What is present on the peneplain? Monad knox. How is the shape of monad knox? What is present on the pediplain? In Selberg. Fine. 3 points. चौथा, yes. Davis talks कि पूरा landform is reduced only by vertical down cutting. Peng says vertical down cutting is then replaced by numerous other processes जिसको उसने नाम दिया parallel retreat. Next. देखो ऐसे ही तो this is how you should your brain should work in the exam hall. कहीं नहीं मिलेगा ये books में. Fine. You will have to search for the points, and when you search for the points, even if your points are not totally right, फिर भी you tell the examiner कि आपको subject समझ में आया है. Getting it? And when you tell the examiner आपको subject समझ में आया, उसी के marks मिलते हैं. Marks उसके नहीं देता. UPSC ने हर पेपर के आगे लिखा रहता है original viewpoints will be awarded. ओरिजिनल व्यू पॉइंट मतलब ऐसा ही नहीं कि खुद की नई थियरी बनाओ, बट इन द नॉट इन द बुकिश लैंग्वेज. आई टेल एवरीवन इन द पुराने बैच में भी कहा था, इंटरव्यू में भी, द वे यू ग्रीट, वो कभी कभी फ्रस्ट्रेट होके पूछते हैं क्वेश्चन, तुम भी उसी क्लास के हो. उनको पता है जितने लोग आ रहे हैं सब उसी वे में ग्रीट कर रहे हैं, सब वही कह रहे हैं, गुड मॉर्निंग चेयरमैन सर, गुड मॉर्निंग, गुड आफ्टरनून द लेडी मेंबर, फिर द रिस्पेक्टेड मेंबर्स. तो इस साल एक अपने स्टूडेंट ने जाते ही ऐसे किया, नमस्ते जूरी मेंबर्स. वो एकदम चौंक गए, फिर से उसका फोटो देखा, एंड ही गॉट गुड मार्क्स इन द इंटरव्यू. थोड़ा हट के, मीन्स ऐसे नहीं लगना चाहिए कि फैक्ट्री में से वो प्रोडक्ट निकल रहे, कोचिंग फैक्ट्रीज में से. ऑब्वियसली कोचिंग के बिना होगा नहीं, फैक्ट्री में से ही निकलेंगे, बट स्टिल टू शो थोड़ा स्मार्टनेस. से एक स्मार्टनेस इधर है, वो तो लिख लिया. पॉइंट शुड नॉट बी रिपीटेड. व्हाट हैपेंस आफ्टर द एंड ऑफ यूथफुल स्टेज इन डेविस? इंसेलबर्ग बनता है, पेनेप्लेन बनता है, नो. कब बनना शुरू हो जाता है? किंग में पेनेप्लेन, पेडिप्लेन, पेनेप्लेन, पेडिप्लेन, it is more or less same. Inselbergs start becoming at the end of youthful stage, and pediplane becomes in the mature stage itself. So his youthful characteristics of Davis and Penck are very different. Of the king are very different. In the king cycle, even the youthful landform has some of the features which are found in the old landform. Example, Inselberg and pediplane. Khatam answer. Fine. So take points. I'm not इसको extend करके enlarge करके मुझे दिखाओ कल. First, similarities बताने की जरूरत नहीं, you already know the similarities. So first point is climatic differences, humid temperate versus climatic differences, humid temperate किसका है? डेविस का. Versus semi-arid, not arid, huh? Arid he could not explain, King. इसलिए we have arid cycle of erosion of Davis. Process vertical down cutting, इसमें first stage starts with vertical down cutting, but later on parallel retreat. Third, application. डेविस कहता है माई साइकिल ऑफ इरोजन अप्लाइज ओनली टू, ये डिफरेंट है, ये कहाँ पे है और ये कहाँ पे शुरू होता है, ओनली टू ह्यूमिड टेम्परेट रीजन्स वेयर रिवर इज मेन एजेंट. ये क्या कहता है? लैंडफॉर्म्स डेवलप इन सिमिलर मैनर irrespective of climates. Irrespective of climates. Core points. What was the another difference? End product peneplain and Knox. End product peneplain and Inselbergs या Kessel copies. Small Inselbergs are known as Kessel copies. One more difference. Youth, ये थोड़ा लाइन लिख लो क्योंकि ये आएगा नहीं आपको लिखना. One more difference is in the Davisian cycle. In the Davisian cycle, landscape becomes progressively older. Landscape becomes progressively older. While in the King's cycle, landscape shows characteristics of both old and youth. Shows characteristics of both old and youth. River is actively downcutting also, still there is a formation of Inselberg. Inselberg is in the old age. So understanding this? Tell me the last point, in the King cycle or in the Davis cycle first, peneplain फिर से कट सकता है? Can peneplain be made again into V-shaped valleys? Peneplain, once it is formed, will it be again eroded, made V-shaped valleys? No, unless obviously the entire peneplain is uplifted. In the King का cycle, peneplain is cut. Yes, second stage में peneplain बन जाता है. Peneplain is further cut to form a large peneplain. यही एक point है. In the Davis cycle, peneplain does not experience further erosion unless uplifted. Peneplain does not experience further erosion unless uplifted. While in the King cycle, peneplain is further broken down to form an extensive peneplain by coalescence. याद है थर्ड पॉइंट? फिर और एक डिफरेंस, डेविस का साइकिल कैन स्टार्ट ऑन एनी सरफेस, इसका साइकिल स्टार्ट्स ऑन प्री एग्जिस्टिंग पेडिप्लेन. ये भी हमने लिखा है. इन्हीं नोट्स को बार बार पढ़ोगे, व्हेन यू विल डाइजेस्ट दिस नोट्स, ये पॉइंट्स खुद ही जनरेट होने लग जाएंगे. सवाना है ना, लार्ज स्केल पे नहीं है, बस इतना लिख सकते हो. बट वो तो एक क्रिटिसिज्म हो गया ना, दे आर आस्किंग यू द डिफरेंसेस. सो सिमिलरली योर होमवर्क इज किंग एंड पेंक, differences of king and penk. किंग एंड पेंक बहुत आसान है. स्टेजेस, रैपिड अपलिफ्टमेंट, कंटिन्यूअस, रेशियो, फाइन. अपलिफ्टमेंट स्टॉप्स, अपलिफ्टमेंट इज स्टिल देयर. Slope replacement versus parallel retreat. हाँ, प्राइमरम के साथ साथ ये होता है. एंड क्लाइमेटिक कंडीशंस. गेटिंग इट? अब इसके बाहर क्या आएगा, ये तीन थियरीज. राइट. सो हमेशा ऐसे मतलब मैंने तो आपको सिर्फ इतना एग्जाम्पल दिया. जियोमॉर्फोलॉजी में ऐसे करवा लूँगा आपसे. ह्यूमन ज्योग्राफी में आपको थोड़ा दिमाग चलाना पड़ेगा, अदरवाइज डेटा इतना हो जाएगा वो कि इट विल नॉट बी डाइजेस्टेबल टू यू ऑल्सो. मतलब वो डेटा इतना ही होना चाहिए विच कैन बी रिमेंबर्ड. राइट. इट इज जस्ट प्लेइंग विद द फैक्ट्स. For example, see, last year question came, give the relevance of neo-determinism in present times. Once you understand determinism is nature is dominant, possibilism is human is dominant, humans can do anything, determinism is nature determines our course of action and nature will determine how we are going to live. अब इन दोनों के बीच का है neo-determinism. Neo-determinism says that nature will act like a traffic light signal. जहाँ उसने green signal दिया, do whatever you want. जहाँ उसने लाल signal दिया, stop the activities. That is what is the neo-determinism. अब notes में हम लिखेंगे the concept of neo-determinism gave rise to sustainable development, Kyoto Protocol and all these things, limits to growth theory. Question UPSC पूछेगा relevance to present times. Fine. फिर न्यूज़पेपर में आप कभी ना कभी पढ़ोगे कि ह्यूमन इंड्यूस्ड अर्थक्वेक. इज इट नॉट नियो डिटर्मिनिज्म? नेचर ने जहाँ ग्रीन सिग्नल नहीं दिया इन हिमालयाज, यू कैन नॉट मेक डैम्स एंड ह्यूमन इंड्यूस्ड अर्थक्वेक. सो यू शुड हैव दिस आइडिया. कोयना डिजास्टर, फुकुशिमा डिजास्टर, फाइन, दिस आर ऑल एन एग्जाम्पल्स ऑफ, या हीट वेव्स, दिल्ली का पोल्यूशन, ग्रीन रिवोल्यूशन, पॉसिबिलिज्म, मैन कैन डू एनीथिंग. डिटर्मिनिज्म नहीं, यहाँ पे डोंट ग्रो राइस बिकॉज राइस विल बिकम वेरी हार्ड. न्यू डिटर्मिनिज्म, स्टबल बर्निंग, पोल्यूशन. सो कल के हिंदू ही न्यूज़पेपर में यू हैव अ फोटो इन विच, आई गेस इट वाज इंडियन एक्सप्रेस, इन विच, और हिंदू कोई भी हो, इन विच द विलेज ऑफिशियल्स, दैट इज एग्रीकल्चर ऑफिसर्स ऑफ हरियाणा, आर गोइंग टू ईच एंड एवरी विलेज का हाउस एंड वहाँ पे टेकिंग अ मीटिंग कि इस साल राइस मत ग्रो कीजिए, टेक मेज इंस्टेड, टेक पल्सेस इंस्टेड, टेक मिलेट्स इंस्टेड. न्यू डिटर्मिनिज्म. सो ये ऐसे सोच होनी चाहिए, और जितने इनोवेटिव आइडियाज उतने मोर मार्क्स. फाइन. ये सभी लिखेगा कि ग्रिफिथ टेलर ने दिया था, ये इसने दिया था. यूर हैव टू आंसर विल हैव टू हैव केस स्टडीज. And why I am so confident about it is because of some students who have got selected, and because see I came from an era जहाँ पे दो optionals थे. UFC एक optional खत्म नहीं होता, उस समय दो optional थे. तो obviously एक optional खत्म नहीं होता था, और वो भी geography जैसा optional. Fine. तो कुछ कुछ दोस्त geography पढ़ लेते थे, कुछ कुछ geography history लेते थे, कुछ कुछ जैसे मैं geography psycho भी बहुत बड़ा optional है. सो साइको का क्लास चलता था 9 महीने तब. फाइन. 9 महीने वॉज साइको का ड्यूरेशन, साइकोलॉजी का ड्यूरेशन ऑफ द क्लास. ऑफिशियल, अनऑफिशियल 1 साल. फाइन. सो ऑब्वियसली 1 साल तक आदमी जा रहा है, सब पढ़ के नहीं जाता था, ज्योग्राफी की स्टडी सफ़र होती थी. सो आई यूज टू यूज दिस केस स्टडी का अप्रोच, एंड नेवर माई मार्क्स इन ज्योग्राफी आउट ऑफ 600, इंक्लूडिंग फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट 326, सेकेंड अटेम्प्ट 352, 363, 371, ऐसे मार्क्स आए थे ज्योग्राफी में आउट ऑफ 600. सो इट हैज़ रिवॉर्डेड मी, इट हैज़ रिवॉर्डेड माई फ्रेंड्स, इट हैज़ रिवॉर्डेड माई सम ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स, इट विल रिवॉर्ड यू ऑल्सो. फाइन. दिस अप्रोच बहुत ज़्यादा टेक्निकल नहीं. सो वी विल कॉल दिस कंसेप्ट एज cyclical concept. Cyclical concept says that landform goes through youth, mature and old age. But real life studies have shown that if this is my imaginary landform, and this imaginary landform is made up of 3 different types of rocks. This is hard rock, this is soft rock, and this is also hard rock, but hardness is greater. So over the period of time, the hard rock will be eroded less, soft rock will be eroded more, and जो ज़्यादा resistant hard rock है, it will be eroded less. So this kind of an approach is what is known as systems analysis in geomorphology. They consider Earth as an open system, while the cyclical concepts consider Earth as a closed system. What is open system? What is a closed system? Any idea here in the class? Earth is open system or a closed system? Are we open system is in which there is exchange of information, exchange of energy from the outside world. So Earth may energy comes from sun or from we generate our own energy. Sun. Earth is an example of an open system. Atmosphere is closed system. Earth is an open system. Atmosphere is a closed system. ये confusion हमेशा होता है. Earth receives its most of the energy from the sun. Our body is open system. Tell me an example of a closed system. Black box of an plane is a closed system. Your computer is open system. It takes energy from somewhere, passes the information to somewhere. Feedback से it runs. So this cyclical, forget about the open system and closed system. This cyclical concepts कहते हैं कि नहीं upliftment होगा, processes उधर ही रहेंगे, processes उधर रहेंगे, ये process apply होगा and the landform will be reduced in height. The further geomorphologists say कि climate keeps on changing. Climates change because of tectonic activities. Climates change due to the difference in the nature of the or shifting of the plates, and therefore processes can never be same, whether it is the endogenetic processes or exogenetic processes. Processes will influence the structure of the rocks, whether the rock is hard or whether the rock is soft. And the structure of the rocks and these processes will influence the development of a landform. So never in the world there is a cyclical development of the landform. The landform का development is always in the state of equilibrium. Equilibrium, कितनी energy उसमें है to resist, कितनी energy है processes में to change उसका shape. And this is what is the systems analysis. ये कहाँ use करना है? Only in conclusion. Getting it? This is what is the how the landform का development occurs. As per Davis-Penck या King, ये पूरा landform will be folded, uplifted. इस पूरे landform पे river will be eroding. The river will be eroding with the same capacity, whether it is this rock, whether it is this rock, whether it is this rock, which is very, very far away from reality. Fine? Why we study then Davis-Penck? Because it is our syllabus. बस बाकी कुछ नहीं. Fine? So there is no conclusion otherwise. See, go to the Kumar book depot or any book depot, स्ट्रॉलर मांगो उनसे, बोलना स्ट्रॉलर दिखाओ, खरीदनी है, वो दिखाएंगे, पूरा ओपन करो स्ट्रॉलर, पेज बाय पेज, जियोसिंक्लाइन थियरी, आइसोस्टेसी एंड डेविस-पेंक मिला तो देखना. फॉरेन ऑथर्स ने रिजेक्ट कर दिया इनको, they no longer study them. It is we, Asia, who is studying them. Fine? Otherwise standard books में will not find Davis and Penck. उनके criticisms मिलेंगे. So Thornberry के book में उसके criticisms मिलेंगे. Structure is the most dominant control on the landform. Processes leave a distinct imprint. Fine? So conclusion, a common conclusion, the cyclical concepts of the landform development are no longer the language of modern geomorphologists, no longer the language of modern geologists, because in 1960s, there was a shift from denudation chronology to landscape development. हम क्या कह रहे हैं? There was a shift from denudation chronology to landscape evolution approach. landscape evolution approach. Landscape evolution approach. Shift from denudation chronology to the landscape evolution approach. Means now youth, mature, old age, no abstegunde, offstegunde, ये सब chronology कहता है. अब evolution of the landform. Go there, study, and then tell how the landform has evolved. Present is key to the past. Fine. Hence, today, the dynamic equilibrium concept of hack, HCK hack, supported by Stoller, Chorley, etc. Supported by Stoller, Chorley, et al. क्योंकि आदमी है, so etc. नहीं, Stoller, Chorley and others, which focuses on evolution of the landforms based on processes acting and structure of the rocks. Is more relevant, is more in application or relevant, is more in application or relevant. Fine. This can be the conclusion for anyone. Getting it? We have gone one step further. Slope development, and we'll do our same exercise. First look at the past year questions that are asked from any topic. Look from Ulta 2015. 2018. (17) में question, the knowledge of slope analysis has limited field application in the slope management. 2017 का one question, the knowledge of slope analysis. There has been no question in 2018. 2017 में there has been question. Now as we are doing this, यहाँ पे सिर्फ इतना लिखो 2017. The knowledge of slope analysis has limited field application in slope management. Fine. 2016, in explaining the concept of pediplanation, this is not from the cycle of erosion, this is from the slope development, but दोनों का knowledge चाहिए King combined the idea of Davis Spence wood with his own. (16) And directly in 2012, explain how Bosching and Hadelheim led to the theory of slope replacement. पीछे के पेज पे discuss the view of slope development provided by L.C. King. फाइन, बंद करो. 2009 से पीछे जाने की जरूरत नहीं, बिकॉज 2008 में सिलेबस वॉज चेंज्ड. Take this. So how many questions? 4 questions from this topic. Generally not favored initially, but जैसे as we are coming to the new era, there has been favor. That means question can be expected in 19 or 20. This is how each and every topic analysis should be there with you. कौन सा रिवाइज करके जाना है, कौन सा नहीं. Fine. Thankfully for you all, from last year, the mains का time table is such कि you get 5 days का gap for revision of optionals. If the same applies next year, then very good. But if the same does not apply, this will help you very properly. ये अब तक इस क्वेश्चन नहीं आया, मतलब मुझे करके जाना है. Getting it? This is what are the contents of the chapter. जिसमें से one content we have done in a very brief manner. Fine. Methods to study the slope development is what is 2017 का क्वेश्चन. बट कैसे स्लोप बना, क्यों बना, कौन से थियरी से बना, इससे आप लैंडस्लाइड्स नहीं रोक सकते. लैंडस्लाइड्स आर ड्यू टू रेनफॉल, what the human beings are doing to the slope, whether we are doing mining activities or not. इसीलिए the question 2017 का slope analysis has limited application in slope failure. They have asked you in दोनों का relationship. Fine. What was the question? Slope, the study of the slope development has limited analysis in the regions of the slope failure. Difficult question. It is not that easy question. And then slope failure is nothing but mass movement: landslide, soil creep, mud flow. Right? These three have nothing to do कि parallel retreat से बना है या vertical down cutting से बना है. This mass movement, क्यों landslide होगी? Why there will be landslide? If there is a traffic, if there is illegal mining activity, if there is a rainfall, if there is a flood, there will be landslide. It does not matter कि whether the slope is made up of vertical down cutting or by slope replacement or by parallel retreat. If there is a steep slope, there will be mass movement. So therefore the question was this. Fine. Had I been in your place, मैं ये question attempt नहीं करता. Why? Because though this is what you and me know, but हम कितने properly 250 words में उसको 250 words में whether we can write it or not depends upon the situation there. Then you will have to make numerous diagram, case study of the Himalayas, case study of the Western Ghats. Question comes in paper 1 or paper 2. This question is in paper 1 or paper 2? Paper 1. So do you have case studies of Andes, case studies of Rockies, case studies of any other this thing? Fine. So I would not have attempted this question. बाकी के questions are very down. Davis never gave anything on the slope development, but Davis is so important कि हम उसको लेके आते हैं slope development में. वैसे Davis की theory is the theory of landscape development, entire youth, mature and old age. Landscape is just one part of a slope. This is a mountain gets converted into plains get converted into this thing. So this is what is just one part is what is the slope. Penck says slopes are very important. He is present in both and King is basically in a. So जिसको अभी King समझ में नहीं आया है parallel retreat क्या है, I have not taught you that. You will understand now what you mean by parallel retreat, what you mean by slope replacement. Fine. And wood, क्यों? क्योंकि he said कि slopes are like this. And he said कि पहले कैसे concave slopes बनेगा, फिर convex and फिर this thing. Fine. And obviously introduction and conclusion. So common introduction to any question on slope development. The landform, the major portion of Earth's landform, consist of slopes, I guess you know what is a slope. Anything which is at an angle at a greater height is slope. So major portion of the Earth's landform consists of slopes. Is it true or false? Is it true in the case of India? Major portion of India's landform is made up of slopes. North plains, slopes है. North plains में कहाँ है slope? वो plains है. Except for North plains, Himalayas में है slopes. Peninsular plateau में है slopes. वेस्टर्न घाट्स में है स्लोप्स, विंध्याज में है, अरावलीज में है. दिस अप्लाइज टू ईच एंड एवरी पार्ट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड एक्सेप्ट फॉर सम फ्यू रीजन्स ऑफ द प्लेन्स. मेजर पोर्शन ऑफ द अर्थ इज मेड अप ऑफ slopes, which shows that earth once was uplifted and then through the down cutting earth has been shaped. That is why there are slopes of different shapes and sizes. Fine. The slopes नहीं स्लोप यहाँ पे जब हम बात करते हैं हम हिल स्लोप की बात करते हैं. इसलिए किसका? क्योंकि कानपुर ऊपर है, इलाहाबाद नीचे है. सो शिवालिक्स जो है ये ग्रेट प्लेन्स का फोल्डेड पार्ट ही है. सो ऊपर का पार्ट ऑब्वियसली फोल्ड होते जा रहा है. जब मैं यहाँ पे बात कर रहा हूँ मैं हिल स्लोप की बात कर रहा हूँ. वैसे तो स्लोप हर जगह है. स्लोप exert an important influence on soils, natural vegetation, comma land utilization, agriculture and human settlements. Agriculture and human settlements. Do you agree with this statement? Therefore, can I say the study of geography is nothing but the study of slopes, whether it is the urbanization, whether it is no urbanization, ये सब कुछ whether the land is gently sloping या steeply sloping के ऊपर है. एक लिखने की ज़रूरत नहीं, कभी याद रखना अगर यूज़ कर सकते हो. एरिया विच इज़ हैविंग अराउंड 10 डिग्री का स्लोप ओनली कैन बी कल्टिवेटेड. एक्सेप्शंस है टेरेस फार्मिंग और सब, बट 10 डिग्री से ज़्यादा अगर स्लोप है तो कल्टिवेशन पॉसिबल नहीं है. कल्टिवेशन पॉसिबल नहीं है तो ह्यूमन सिविलाइजेशन पॉसिबल नहीं है. There are two types of slope. क्या हुआ डेजर्ट्स में? What is your doubt? Why?
Because in deserts there is, it's almost plain.
No, you are wrong. Deserts is never plain. What is a desert? Desert is an area where nothing grows because evaporation exceeds transpiration. So if you consider a desert as only plain, जो दिमाग में है कि रेत होनी चाहिए, what is Leh Ladakh, what is Mongolia, what is Atlas, what is Atacama. Don't just think Sahara. Sahara is a plain. बाकी का most of the, what is Eastern Rajasthan. Don't just think Western Rajasthan. Eastern Rajasthan is peninsular plateau जहाँ पे ऊपर नीचे है rocks, Aravallis. That is also a desert. Fine. So desert is also never a plain region. Sandy deserts make only 7% of the world's area of the deserts. बाकी का deserts are rocky deserts or mountainous deserts. Just making you familiar with the words. So if you can note down, आंसर में लिखने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, सो दैट एग्ज़ाम में कोई वर्ड देख के आप डर ना जाओ. दो टाइप के स्लोप है. एक स्लोप which is formed due to endogenetic activities from within the earth. What is the name? They are known as endogenetic slopes or tectonic slopes या hypogenic slopes. बताने की जरूरत नहीं है. Folding and faulting, mountains, Q convection currents. Fine. That is why I give you this thing. There is another kind of a slope that is exogenetic or epigene. आया है question epigene cycle of erosion? Due to exogenetic agents such as weathering and mass movement. Weathering and mass movement. Due to weathering and mass movement. इनके दो टाइप्स हैं. One that is formed due to degradation. मतलब degradation means erosion and weathering. And for aggradation मतलब the material which has been eroded in the upper part has been deposited at some other part. So this is formed due to cutting, this is formed due to deposition of the materials, but both of them are an example of an epigene slopes. Any doubts here? Now look, we are going to study in the slope development mostly epigene slopes. Endogenetic हमने कर लिए slopes. Plate tectonic theory of the mountain building, Kober's का geosyncline theory, we are going to study epigene slopes. In the epigene slopes, when we talk about convex slope, free scrap, it is degradational slope. When Tank talks about gravity slope, it is a degradational slope. When Tank talks about wash slope, it is an aggradational slope. When we talk about the concave slope, it is an aggradational slope. Slope replacement is aggradational concave slope increases in length and replaces the degradational slope. Parallel retreat is both degradational and aggradational slope का width धीरे धीरे कम होते जाता है. They are not being replaced, they are being retreated, and ultimately जब top part of the slope touch each other, there will be no slope left. Suppose if I am cutting this entire part, this is the part, I am cutting this, it is bringing here free scrap, free scrap, free scrap, and once my hands touch, is there any free scrap left? No. So, पहले initially there is a backward retreat or back wasting of the free scrap, and once the free scrap has been totally eroded, then there is a slope replacement. That is what is the parallel retreat. Again, the study is of how the degradational slope will get converted into aggradational slope. Once the landform is made up of aggradational slope, depositional slope, the landform is always flat. उसको नाम दे दो आप पेनेप्लेन, उसको नाम दे दो आप पेडिप्लेन, उसको नाम दे दो आप the एंड्रम्फ. Fine? Getting it? Open your syllabus. Open your syllabus here. So, understood the syllabus, concepts of geomorphic cycles and landscape development, Davis, Penck and King. Of which we are doing? Slope development. We are doing the next topic, that is the slope development. Slope development या landscape development will result into peneplain, pediplain. Keep looking in the syllabus as you are hearing me. Peneplain, pediplain and endrum. ये तीनों, are they formed due to erosion? So the next point of your syllabus is erosion surfaces. Just before, कुछ नहीं है ये तीन है, peneplain versus pediplain versus endrum. That is what is the erosion surfaces. Getting it? So ये तीनों topics related है. Slope development, landscape development and erosion surfaces. There will be never a direct question on the elements of the slope, but the elements of the slope is the base here. Once you understand the elements of the slope, you will understand the slope development. You already know some of the elements of the slope. What are the elements of the slope? Convex, उसके बाद free scrap, उसके बाद rectilinear, उसके बाद concave or wash slope. These are the four elements of the slope. Who gave this? Wood gave the four main types of the slope, elements of the slope. Who used this elements of the slope? L.C. King. Now tell me, in any mountain, which are the slopes? Are all the four slopes found? Or there can be only two slopes? Or one slope can it be absent? Yes, sub mountain में ये चारों slope मिलेंगे. You must have gone to many mountains. चारों मिलेगा? Concave, convex, rectilinear. Generally हमारे रास्ते rectilinear slope पे बने हैं. ऐसे कैसे बनेंगे हमारे रास्ते? Fine. But क्या नहीं रहेगा? Free scrap नहीं रहेगा. Convexity will be there. Free scrap may or may not be present in every slope. So, यहाँ से शुरू होता है वुड की थियरी. फाइन. एलिमेंट्स ऑफ द स्लोप. commonly observed slope has 4 points as given by, as proposed by Wood in 1943. as proposed by Wood in 1943. As proposed by Wood in 1943. Generally slopes may not have all the four elements The most commonly observed elements are convexity at the top and basal concavity. Elements are convexity at the top and basal concavity. Next point. In the arid regions, where the rock is hard crystalline rock, where the rock is hard crystalline rock, top convexity is absent. Top convexity is absent. And the rock has steep upper free face. Kitna angle? How much should be the angle of the free face? This is diagram. In reality, 40 degrees plus. Fine? Don't go by the diagrams. Any slope which is having more than 40 degree angle, it is a free face. Why? Because of these diagrams we get more confused. Fine? Yes. ऐसे 90 डिग्री तो सिर्फ आपको 2-3 जगह मिलेगा. One is in the Grand Canyon region, totally arid, and दूसरा is in the Shipkila Pass region. Otherwise, you will not find anywhere in the world. And thoda bahut in the regions of waterfall, but that is not slope. That is cutting of the land. So remember, it is not 90 degree. Don't go by this. Convexity is absent. नहीं, 90 डिग्री हम चढ़ ही कैसे पाएंगे? 90 डिग्री पे आप चढ़ कैसे पाओगे? ऐसे दीवार है 90 डिग्री है. डू यू थिंक यात्री ऐसे जाते हैं? 90 डिग्री पे तो कोई ह्यूमन नहीं चढ़ पाएगा. फिर कैलाश मानसरोवर स्टीप है. कितना है स्टीपनेस उसका? कैलाश मानसरोवर का आई गेस 55 डिग्रीज के आसपास है. सो 55 डिग्रीज में इतने डेप्थ. ये जो लैंड क्रूजर एंड टोयोटा की लैंड क्रूजर और लैंड रोवर, रेंज रोवर जो है, वो 20 डिग्री के स्लोप तक चढ़ पाती है. इसलिए उनको प्रॉपर एसयूवीज कहते हैं. उसमें 4 व्हील ड्राइव वो सब होता है. इसलिए मेरी गाड़ी तो फ्लाईओवर पे ट्रैफिक जाम हो तो फिर से पीछे आ जाती है. सो कौन सा? टाइगर हिल इज, यस, टाइगर हिल का वन पार्ट इज टोटल इन 90 डिग्रीज. जो जिससे इंडियन आर्मी ऊपर चढ़ी थी, दैट इज प्रॉपर 90 डिग्रीज. हाँ, दैट इज अ प्रॉपर 90 डिग्रीज. अगेन वही हिमालयास, क्यों? एंड कटिंग बाय द रिवर्स. कारगिल वाला, यस, लक्ष्य मूवी में दिखाया है एग्जैक्टली. सो इट, व्हाट इज द एब्सेंट इज free scrap. It consists of convexity, it consists of free scrap, ब्रैकेट में सिर्फ याद रखना more than 40 degrees, comma, continuation of the point, comma, central rectilinear slope, ब्रैकेट में which has boulders. Boulders means big stones, which has boulders, and pediment, which is concave. And the pediment which is concave. Pediment which is concave. Understanding pediment, pedimentation. Again, not for exam. This is just to make the three theories clear. Ab see. First, convexity. Which is it the top of a mountain, top of a summit? लिखने की जरूरत है? Fine. कोई लिखने की जरूरत नहीं, सिर्फ इतना याद रखो कि कौन से दो प्रोसेसेस यहां पे डोमिनेट करेंगे. वन, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, वन प्रोसेस विल बी सॉइल क्रीप, मतलब सॉइल विल मूव डाउन स्लोली. द अदर प्रोसेस विल बी रॉक फॉल. इसीलिए Penck calls it as why the soil is moving down due to the influence of gravity. इसलिए Penck calls this as gravity slope. Convexity. Two processes are responsible for the formation of convex slope. Two processes are responsible for the formation of convex slope. Soil creep, weathering. Soil creep and weathering. I am not giving you rockfall. Rockfall will be a outcome of weathering. Soil creep and weathering. Soil creep and weathering. Clear? Obviously, it is the top of a mountain or sub. I am not dictating unnecessary things. Is it clear? Second, free face, very important. Understand ये क्यों बनता है? First, why it is known as free face? Because it is so steep, no rock or weathered material will stay there. All the weathered material or rock 40 डिग्री से ज़्यादा स्टीपनेस के बाद वो गिर जाएंगे. गिरने के बाद there will be no sediments there. इसलिए it is free of sediments and hence free face. Fine? Free face consists of the bare rocks. Bare rock due to steepness. It has no rock debris or regolith. It has no rock debris or regolith. It is commonly found in the coastal regions. It is commonly found in the coastal regions due to wave action. Anyone from Mumbai knows this. Northern part of Mumbai, where there are big Nariman Point or सब जो है, this is the free face जहाँ पे governor's house is located. That is the end point of Mumbai. वहाँ पे rocks will come, waves will come and break the rocks. Fine. This is what is the free face. Wave action or by down cutting by the river, or by the down cutting by the river, or by faulting, or by faulting, or by faulting. Or by faulting. Rectilinear slope. Rectilinear slope. क्या होगा rectilinear slope में? Constant angle. देखो कैसे बनता है rectilinear slope. All the weathered material from the free face will get accumulated. Fine. This materials will be bigger in shape. They will get accumulated, and once they become finer, वो यहाँ से गिर के यहाँ पे accumulate होंगे. Fine? पहले बड़े बड़े stones, पत्थर, फिर weathering के कारण वो finer, they will become finer and they will get accumulated here. अब next time जब weathering होगा, ये मिट्टी ऊपर बढ़ते जाएगी, and thus a constant angle का phase बनेगा, which is known as an rectilinear phase. In the rectilinear phase, stones इकट्ठा हो के, in the rectilinear phase, the stones will be of bigger size generally. इसीलिए इतना ऐसा खड़ा रह पा रहा है. It is formed due to erosion. But these stones, everyday rainfall, weathering, erosion से ज़्यादा weathering will be broken into fine sediments. And once these fine sediments are formed, these fine sediments will roll down and get accumulated at the bottom. Fine? Or these rocks further breaking down will get accumulated at the bottom. Coarse debris जो था, it is now broken into fine sediments. When the river is flowing from the bottom, it cannot remove the coarse debris which was initially present, but it can remove easily the fine sediments, and thus this will become concave. Getting it? कैसे बन रहा है? So it consists of coarse sediments which get accumulated. Due to weathering, the coarse sediments break down. Once they are broken down, they are easily removed by the river. And इसीलिए the basal concave slope is also known as wash slope. Fine? In the mature stage, वो नहीं कहता mature stage, but in the last stage, that is abstegunde glitch formige, as the rivers have become large due to it has got numerous tributaries, plus the upliftment has stopped. So generations से weathering होके sediments will be becoming smaller. Fine? And thus river will be able to erode more sediments, and thus ये concave slopes will increase in area. It will increase in area. It will increase in area. And thus entire landform will be converted into concavity, slope replacement. अब समझ में आया slope replacement? Fine? जो चीज़ें मैं बार बार कह रहा हूँ वो इसलिए कह रहा हूँ so that you should be able to tell any one of your friends, anyone in a simple language, then you can write an answer. If you cannot tell the friends, फिर से समझ लो, फिर से खुद को समझाओ. Come and discuss with me. Fine? Then you can write any answer here. फिर टेक्स्ट बुक की ज़रूरत नहीं, concepts are very easy. But if you cannot understand, फिर confusion शुरू, फिर बैकलॉग रह जाएगा कि ज्योग्राफी का 60% क्वेश्चंस जियोमॉर्फोलॉजी के मैं कर नहीं पाता, फिर क्लाइमेटोलॉजी में कुछ कंफ्यूजन रह जाएगा, फिर हम बोलेंगे ओशनोग्राफी. तो ऐसे बैकलॉग मत रहने दो माइंड में. सो रेक्टिलिनियर स्लोप, also known as constant angle slope. Constant angle slope is having straight face or straight profile, having straight profile. Is made up of debris that falls from the free face and is accumulated. Falls from the free face and is accumulated. When anything can be concave if erosion is greater, fine, and upliftment is matching the erosion. When anything can be concave when erosion is greater but upliftment is not matching the erosion. When anything can be straight when eroded materials which fall down are removed at the same speed. जितना नीचे गिरे बड़े बड़े रॉक्स उतने ही निकाले गए. Then only the face will be straight. Getting it? इसका मतलब है अपलिफ्टमेंट हो रहा है, इसका मतलब है इरोजन हो रहा है. ये स्ट्रेट इसलिए है क्योंकि जो गिर रहा है उतना रिमूव हो रहा है. Once it is formed, अब फ्री फेस से पैरेलल रिट्रीट हो रहा है and the debris is getting accumulated here. Fine. Debris will get accumulated over the period of time. Debris gets accumulated over the period of time. And if I don't remove this debris, is it remaining straight now? No, it is becoming convex. If I remove larger amount of debris, it is becoming concave. But जितना debris गिर रहा है उतना ही मैं remove कर रहा हूँ, तो it is maintaining the straight face. Now understood? Everyone? This face is determined by the balance between debris supply from above and the rate of its removal down the hill and hence it is known as debris controlled slope. Controlled slope. No need of drawing this other part, concave slope. Why I am showing this diagram? Just to tell you the statement. The statement is, can I say it extends from Piedmont zone, that is the foot of a mountain, to the valley of a river? Fine. Consist of which kind of debris? Coarse or fine debris? Fine, which can be washed away by the rivers and hence concave. Fine. So due to weathering, finer sediments roll down. Due to weathering, finer sediments is carried down by rainwater. Finer sediments is carried down by the rainwater and deposited at the bottom of a hill. Deposited at the bottom of a hill. Full stop. It is easily carried by the river, giving it concave shape. It is easily carried by the river, giving it a concave shape. Giving it a concave shape. Concave shape. Fine. So wash slope is what? Haddle hang. Gravity slope or free face is what? Boschungen. आगे जाके क्या होने वाला है? क्या होगा in future if there is a gravity slope, if there is a wash slope, which is going to increase in area? Wash slope. How? River area will start increasing or the sediments will start be removed. So matlab better word is finer sediments will be removed. As the finer sediments will be removed from below, the length of a slope will increase. So the length of the slope will increase. So ये बढ़ेगा, क्या कम होगा? Free face और concave slope, ये कम होगा. इसी को हम कहेंगे slope replacement. Parallel retreat नहीं. I am just focusing on PENC. Parallel retreat इसलिए नहीं, वो मतलब पागलपना है, ऐसे होता नहीं है पैरेलल रिट्रीट. जस्ट कुछ तो प्रूव करने के लिए पैरेलल रिट्रीट नाम दिया. आई एम फोकसिंग ऑन पेंग स्लोप रिप्लेसमेंट. सो कम टू द पास्ट ईयर क्वेश्चन. एक्सप्लेन हाउ बॉस्चुंगन एंड हैडलहैंगन लेड टू द कंसेप्ट ऑफ स्लोप रिप्लेसमेंट. अभी भी लिख सकते हो, आपको सिर्फ बताना है what is Boschungen, the convex part of the slope and the free face which is developed by the undercutting by the rivers in the youthful stage. Now because this is a steep slope, there will be greater and greater erosion and weathering, and therefore the debris will be falling on the rectilinear slope. The finer debris from the rectilinear slope will move to the lower part. In the mature stage or in the third stage, mature stage नहीं use कर सकते हम, in the waning stage, as the upliftment has stopped, therefore only river will engage in erosion. As the river is engaging in erosion, it will remove the finer debris, and thus the haddle hanging is created. As river becomes wider and wider, haddle hang is increased in area, and thus over the period of time the entire slope will become concave and full stop. This concept of Penck is what is known as slope replacement. Thus, we can conclude that Bos-Jungen gives rise to Hadalhangen. Some residual hills are left behind which are having sharp tops. The sharpness of the top is because that is a point where concave slope meets convex slopes. Getting it? Q sharp hai uska. And this is what is the slope replacement. Getting it? It's very easy to. I have not used a single obstagunde, ये सब कुछ नहीं use किया मैंने. In simple language, I have written it, obviously with the diagrams. Theories. सबसे पहले W.M. Davis. What is happening to the What is happening to this? What will W.M. Davis say? What is W.M. Davis is going to say? Vertical down cutting. उससे सबसे पहले स्टेज में क्या बनेगा? वी शेप्ड वैलीज. अब हम आंसर लैंडफॉर्म डेवलपमेंट पे लिख रहे हैं या स्लोप डेवलपमेंट पे? स्लोप डेवलपमेंट पे. सो इंस्टेड ऑफ वी शेप्ड वैलीज आप क्या यूज करोगे? कॉन्केव या कॉन्वेक्स स्लोप्स? वी शेप्ड वैलीज. आई एम अगेन ड्राइंग द डायग्राम ऑफ वी शेप्ड वैलीज. What is this? Concave or convex? Convex slope. So in the youthful stage, convex slope starts developing due to vertical down cutting. So his theory starts by vertical down cutting, and therefore when we do the slope development, we will call his theory as slope decline theory of W.M. Davis. What will happen in the mature stage? Go to the उसका ओरिजिनल साइकिल. कुछ अलग से पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं, सिर्फ वर्ड चेंज करने हैं. यू शेप्ड वैली बनेगी. क्यों बनती है? बिकॉज एज द एंगल ऑफ द स्लोप डिक्लाइंस, steepness of the slope declines, then the speed of a river decreases. Because the speed of a river decreases, it starts doing lateral erosion, and hence V-shaped valleys gives rise to U-shaped valleys. As the time will progress, U-shaped valley will keep on increasing. U-shaped valley will keep on increasing. Because of increasing erosion, debris will be deposited at the bottom, and therefore the height of the slopes will keep on, or height of the landform will keep on declining. फिर ये भी कटेगा, and thus the entire landform will be converted into a huge valley, which is known as a plain. खत्म है इस theory. So it starts from convex, ends at concave. सिर्फ V-shaped valleys के बदले convex slope, U-shaped valleys के बदले concave slope. बाकी सब कुछ same है. Problems, demerits, rapid upliftment. Fine. Youth, mature and old age is not seen as it is what is seen there. Understanding? Means in the Davisian diagram, the same diagram, obviously we are not going to use this diagram, but I am drawing the diagram quickly for you. In this diagram, he says there is a rate of rapid upliftment, then initially there is a V-shaped valley, then V-shaped valley starts getting converted into U-shaped valleys, the height of the landform goes on declining, so slopes go on declining, then there is a very broad U-shaped valley and having isolated residual hills known as Monad Knox. यही तो है. V-shaped valley has got converted into U, height of the landform has declined and plains बन गया. So degradational slope has now become aggradational slope. Getting it? बस ये सिर्फ मजा डेविस में है. Penck and King are totally different. Fine. Somebody asked me day before yesterday, he did not understood how Bos-Jungen forms, how Hadalhangen forms. You will understand now. I guess you only asked me. So you will understand because that is not landscape development. Usme you have to just mention. Fine? So W.M. Davis. It is an example of slope evolution approach. It is an example of a slope evolution approach. Full stop. That is his theory. His theory tries to study the historical development of the hill slopes. Historical development of the hill slopes. Tries to understand the historical development of the hill slopes. Example C. Aravallis aaj aise hai. These are the slopes. Kyun? Go back to the history. There was a period of rapid upliftment, then the rivers cut down the Aravallis and today it became a peneplain. This is what is the slope evolution approach. दूसरा approach है process form approach. Which process is acting? What form it is there? मतलब dynamic equilibrium theory. अगर ये प्रोसेस है तो ये माउंटेन्स मिलेंगे, एंडोजेनेटिक प्रोसेस. इफ एक्सोजेनेटिक प्रोसेसेस आर एक्टिंग डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द स्ट्रक्चर, आपको ये मिलेगा. सो प्रोसेस फॉर्म अप्रोच इज नॉट इन आवर सिलेबस. फाइन. There are two approaches to study: slope evolution approach, process form approach. Don't write. I'll give you tomorrow the Xerox copy of the book underlined के साथ जहाँ से ये टॉपिक पढ़ना है. Only for value addition. These are the topics for value addition. They are not for exam. Fine. Don't do it from Savindra Singh. It is too complicated in Savindra Singh. Best is P. Dayal या Thornbury. These are the two approaches. Next. His theory is known as a slope decline theory. His theory is known as slope decline theory. Which was the part of his geomorphic cycle. Which was a part of geomorphic cycle. Basic assumption. Any slope passes through the stage of, देखो लैंडफॉर्म नहीं लिख रहे हैं हम, क्या? Slope passes through the stage of youth, maturity and old age. Passes through the stage of youth, maturity and old age. Second assumption. Based on the stage of erosion, in the bracket time, stage of erosion matlab time, based on the stage of erosion, the shape or the form of the slope changes. Shape and the form of slope changes. From convex in the youthful stage, to concave in the old age. Fine. I'll stop here today. लैंग्वेज स्लो थोड़ी क्या अलग होगी, यू कैनॉट डायरेक्टली राइट एज इट इज. अगर सिमिलर होता है आंसर तो यूपीएससी इतना अलग पार्ट ऑफ द सिलेबस नहीं देती. यहाँ पे वहां पे लिखा था हमने कॉन्वेक्स स्लोप वी शेप रिवर अंडर कटिंग कॉजेस वी शेप्ड वैलीज. यहाँ पे हम लिखेंगे कॉन्वेक्स स्लोप इज फॉर्म ड्यू टू सॉइल क्रीप. Soil creep is occurring because of vertical erosion and the rocks becoming loose. Then in the mature stage, rectilinear slope will be formed because eroded material will be deposited. Fine. And in the late mature stage and old age, दोनों में concave slope will be